All of his stuff looked good, so probably too good because it was probably snug, but he was different in everything that he did. He locked up different. He locked up snug.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What's up, everyone? Welcome. This weekend is going to be such a great, eventful, fun weekend full of wrestling because it is going to be WWE Bad Blood. The WWE is bringing back this, dare I say, classic PLE back to modern wrestling. So that's going to be exciting. What's going on, everyone? We're going to be predicting some of the matches for Bad Blood this weekend. My name is Edgar. I am the host of Snug Wrestling Podcast. My special guest today is a frequent guest of the show, a good friend of the show, Super. He's one half of Behind the Pillars podcast. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, man? How's it been?
It's been good. I can't complain, man. We just finished watching the first NXT on the CW not too long ago. Which was one hell of a show. I gotta say, they did not disappoint. Were you able to catch the show?
I didn't get to catch it, but I heard they introduced a new championship.
They presented new championship belts, but they replaced the men's NXT championship and the women's NXT championship with new belts.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So it's a nice little touch for the new CW. We got a new NXT champion, Trick Williams. So we got a new champion going into this new era of NXT on their new network. So it's fun stuff. We also got to see CM Punk, who's going to be at Bad Blood this weekend. So let's jump straight to it, man. We have one more Friday Night SmackDown left before the Bad Blood. I don't know if we're going to have more matches added. I think we already have the match card set. We have all 5 matches set and ready to go for Bad Blood, right?
Yeah, we have 5 out of 5 matches. I don't think they'll add any more.
So my first question, before we get into this Bad Blood, a lot of wrestling fans on the internet were wondering, why didn't we get more matches on this PLE? Now, usually WWE likes to keep their PLEs at 5 or sometimes 6 matches, but Sheamus versus Pete Dunne is a match that we're going to get on Monday Night Raw next week. And we also got Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman this Monday night, last night, which I thought for some reason, I was like, man, we're probably going to get that match because it's a big match for Bad Blood, but we got it on Monday Night Raw. Now, when it comes to those 2 big matches, how do you feel about it, about those matches being on Raw and not being put on the PLE?
So I was kind of on the fence about this as well. The Pete Dunne match, not so much. I felt like that it fit the theme of Bad Blood, but I felt like it just wasn't a big enough. If you don't have a big 4 pay-per-view, right? If you don't have a big show, you obviously have a limited card. I think that because of that, they made the right decision in keeping that specifically off of Bad Blood. But the Bronson Reed Braun Strowman match, I think, deserved a bigger spot. It did get main event on Raw, which is fantastic, but I think it deserved maybe not main event on Bad Blood, but co-main event maybe. But I think I really do think the Pete Dunne match, they put it in a good spot.
Right on. Shout out to everyone that's on the comments. Thank you for the follow there. Talia, shout out to Talia. Shout out to Nettie. Thank you for your comment. We're gonna be doing predictions here really quick for Bad Blood this weekend. Out of all these 5 matches, people on the comments too, feel free to drop in your predictions for these matches as well. Super, which match are you looking forward to the most? And that's the match that we're going to get started with on this prediction episode.
So honestly, it's I'm not super invested in any of these matches. I'd say the most interesting one to me moving forward after Bad Blood. I think the one that's going to have the biggest impact is Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Interesting. Okay. So let's get started there. So we got Damian Priest, and these two go way back. There's a lot of history. They've been in the Judgment Day for what feels like forever. And Finn Balor recently, man, he turned on Priest, he turned on Rhea Ripley, and they just been going at it week after week. And it seems like the Judgment Day, they've just been beating the crap out of Rhea and Damian Priest. The Judgment Day has been standing tall over them time after time. And so we're finally going to get a singles match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. I'm going to go first with this one, Super, because I'm a fan of both of these guys. Finn Balor.
Hey, sorry, not to cut you off. Nettie said you can't hear him.
Yes, I changed that.
Okay.
Wait, you can see those comments too?
Well, I'm watching the live.
Oh, you're watching it on TikTok too. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Figure,
yeah,
give an extra viewer,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks, Nettie, for that. I was on TikTok live before, so I forgot to update the settings on that. But
gotcha. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Finn Balor, I think he deserves to win this one, man. But there's no way, right? There's no way he can defeat Damian Priest. He's just not just the bigger athlete, man, but Damian Priest, he's the former champion recently. He's defeated multiple good wrestlers. As of late, the last few months, Damian Priest has been kind of on a roll. So I think with the momentum that Damian Priest has going for him right now, I think he's going to be the one to go over this weekend.
Yeah, I think I think Damian's the obvious choice here, and I think that sets a lot up for the future, not just for the Terror Twins versus the Judgment Day, but for Damian Priest and Finn Balor separately. It sets up a lot for them. I think Finn has this is what they've got writing on it. They both have pride, basically. Damian has the pride of being a recent former champion. Damian's got his reputation that he's built over the past 2 years. And Finn's got essentially the pride of his career riding on this, because you have to think, if Finn loses this against Damian, how many people are gonna Finn doesn't have it anymore. He just doesn't have, and that could be a good thing, because as we talked about last time, every big turn has to have a spiral, right? This could lead us back to the demon Finn Balor, which I think would be the coolest thing in the world, because we lost the demon to, I'm not even going to get into that, but we lost the demon.
Right.
And I think that if he loses this, it'll set up Damian Priest. It'll give him momentum going forward, which is what he needs. And it'll give Finn Balor time to spiral and come back to the demon, possibly.
Yeah, and people are already saying that about Finn Balor. Like, is he supposed to be the leader of the Judgment Day? Because I don't buy it. I don't see it. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest were, the muscle of the faction when they were still in Judgment Day. So when they left, who do you got left? You got Finn Balor, you got JD Madonna, Carlito. I would put Carlito as the head of the Judgment Day way before Finn Balor. So,
wow. I feel like that's a little bit of a hot take.
Well, Carlito, he's way more he's a veteran. I feel like he's been wrestling longer than Finn Balor, and he's a lot bigger than Finn Balor too. That's a big reason why I see Carlito as being more of a leader than Finn Balor. So a win over Damian Priest would definitely establish Finn Balor as being a real serious leader, right?
Yeah, I agree 100%. but I think the Judgment Day, I don't want to say has run its course. I think they still have some movement there, but it's definitely coming to an end. And Finn Balor needs to get back out on his own, is what he needs to do, and he needs to prove to himself and the audience that he's not washed up. He's not, that he's still got it. I think that's really important, unless he plans on leaving soon, which I don't think he does. Dude's in great shape, and I truly believe that he could give us the best match of his career today, if given the opportunity. But but yeah, I think Damian's got to win this, and I think that's going to push Finn Balor to go a little bit more out there and maybe revive this not dead but mundane career he's had going the past few years.
So if Damian Priest defeats Finn Balor, do you think that's like the beginning of, the WWE telling us like, hey, the Judgment Day, they're almost done here. They're pretty much on their way out? Because I mean, I think that's pretty much the story now. Is it like Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are trying to take down the Judgment Day, trying to demolish the Judgment Day and just make them go away completely?
Well, yeah, I think the signal that the Judgment Day is coming to an end has already happened. I think a big signal was when Damian and Rhea left. And then not long after that, I know they still call them the Judgment Day, but they don't even wear Judgment Day merch anymore. They wear Street Trash merch. So I think those are two big tells that maybe the group isn't breaking up, but the name, the Judgment Day, the brand of the Judgment Day is coming to an end.
Wow. Okay. So then the Judgment Day, they're not going to have a 10-year streak like the New Day, it's looking like.
I would love it. I would love it if they did. It's not often you catch lightning in a bottle like they did with the New Day. It's the New Day's a group that, like, even today, with all the turmoil they have going on right now, and people thinking they might split up, I'm like, no, don't do it. Stop. I don't want you to split up. And they really caught lightning in a bottle there. And I think they could do that same thing with the Judgment Day if they, I don't know, they're very much booking them for short term. And it seemed when Edge was part of the Judgment Day that they were booking very, very long term, and they were looking way down the road for the Judgment Day. And it's great that it's gotten them this far, but current bookings, I'm like, man, they're in storylines that could last 3, maybe 6 months if you really push it, and then it's going to get boring, and then no one's going to want to watch them. So I don't know, we'll see, but I'd like them to have a good, if it were possible, if they could do it with quality, I would like to see the group, the Judgment Day, have a 10-year run.
All right, well, that's the first match right there that we predicted. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Both Super and I, we're going for Damian Priest, right? I think that's where we left off. So people in the comments that are watching in, that are hanging out with us right now, let us know who you guys think or who you guys got to win this match this weekend. Let's go down the list here. That was match number 1. Let's see what else we got. Let's go with let's get this one out of the way, because I just feel like this match just needs to go away.
I know what you're talking about already.
Which one? What do you think?
Are you talking about Bayley versus Nia?
Yes, I am, dude. I hate to say that. I love Bayley.
I don't hate to say that. I love Bayley to death. She deserves a better opponent.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not Bayley. It's not her. It's Nia. Oh man, it's just. Sometimes it feels like Triple H is putting the titles on these people because it's like, well, they've been in the company for a really, really long time, so so why not? But it's like, come on, like, is that what we're doing?
I'll give you why not, because no one wants to see them. That's why not.
So Bailey got this title match last week on Friday Night SmackDown after defeating her best friend or one of her closest friends, Naomi, for #1 contenders match. But let's not forget someone really close to Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton is holding that briefcase really closely, and that's something that can go into play.
Yeah, and it sucks for me because only because of the relationship and because Tiffany has that briefcase, Nia Jax is the most exciting thing about this match. But it's only because of the briefcase. That's it. You just want to see what happens with the briefcase.
Exactly.
But Bailey, I think Bailey's going to steal the show. I think Bailey loses the match, but I think breaking kayfabe, she comes out a winner.
Right. Frank Johnson, 1973. Thank you for your comment. Shout out to you. Bailey wins. Tiffany cashes in. That would be brutal. Can you imagine Bailey winning and then pulling a Drew McIntyre and just losing it like 30 seconds later?
I would be, if Bailey won and then Tiffy cashed in, I would be in one of the biggest conundrums of my entire life. I don't know. It's like, just get it over. Whatever's going to happen, get it over with, because it's going to be both good and bad either way.
Shout out to Nicole Vincent. She agrees with Frank's prediction as to Bailey winning. And dang, everyone wants to see Tiffany cash in on Bailey, huh?
Well, I mean, that's the thing though, is that match makes sense. That match is watchable. That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
And instead we're getting Nia Flaps.
Worst case scenario is Nia Jax retains. Best case scenario, Tiffany Stratton cashes in on either Bailey or Nia Jax and becomes a new champion, because I think that's what the people really want to see. The people really, it's Tiffy time. You've been hearing it in the arenas week after week. Yeah, see, Nicole even said it's Tiffy time. She's really good, and I agree. I agree with Nicole.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with either Bailey or Tiffy coming out on top with it. But it's a double-edged sword. You know, I want Bailey to win it, but I also want Tiffy to cash in successfully. I want Tiffy to cash in successfully, but I also want Bailey to win. Like no matter what, I'm gonna be let down somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's a tough match for me. If I'm excluding Tiffy from it, I'm picking. Sadly, I think they would keep it on Nia Jax. If Tiffy's involved, then I'll say probably Bailey wins it, and then Tiffy comes down and cashes in. That would make sense because that also salvages her friendship with Nia, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if Tiffy cashes in on Nia, then we have that to look forward to. Nia Jax going after Tiffy, and I don't know. I think we're still way too soon for that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, moving on quickly here. Let's since we're talking about the women's division, let's move on to the women's world championship. This match is Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, because of the storyline that they got going with. I've actually really enjoy this whole soap opera thing that they got going on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And then you're going to put poor old Dominic Mysterio, good old dirty Dom. He doesn't deserve this. My boy is going to be hung up from a shark cage at the top. And the first thing that I thought of when I saw this is, man, the WWE, they've been trying really hard to hang Dominic Mysterio from something since he was a kid in the WWE. And they're finally about to do it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. What do you think is going to win? What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, first of all, let me say, I don't think there's a universe where WWE exists the way it does, with Dominic locked in a cage and he doesn't find some way to get out.
Well, I think he's skinny enough to fit through the bars. I saw the cage on last night on Monday, and I think he could just do one of these.
Dude, what if he does just an old prison shimmy? Like he
There you
shimmies
go.
out? Yeah, man. That would be
Now,
interesting.
now, if you're JD Madonna, then you're in trouble. That head is not getting through there.
Yeah, I was about to say you could get through, but your head's going to get caught up. But
yeah, so
Dom I would bet Dom's getting out somehow, assisting Liv again, and she retains.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. Because there's no way Liv Morgan retains any other way. I mean, you could try to lock up Dom, but we've seen it before. You can't lock up Dom, and that didn't work last time because that fool's a thug. He's a gangster.
He's thugging it out, bro. He's gonna get out.
Frank Johnson once again, 1973. He's coming in hot with the
Liv.
Yeah, he's coming in hot with the hot takes.
What do you think? This whole thing's a double cross?
I mean, last night on Monday Night Raw, there was some weird stuff going on with Finn Balor. If you remember, did you watch Raw last night?
Yeah.
He called Dominic Mysterio at the start of the show and was like, hey, I'm having travel issues. I'll be there later. Tell Liv I already took care of that thing. And Dom was like, okay, but he didn't tell Liv anything. And I was like, what was that thing that Finn Balor was talking about? They didn't mention it. Or was that thing the run-in that Finn Balor did during the match on Monday Night Raw? I don't know, but Finn Balor and Liv Morgan, I don't trust those two.
Or what if the thing was Finn helping Dom escape the cage somehow?
That's yeah. Maybe they pull that old trick that they do back in the day. Like they have like a magic button or a switch somewhere. They hit the button, the cage comes down, and they unlock it. And we've seen that done plenty of times back in the day, I feel like.
Yeah, could be. This match is another one that I'm really conflicted with. I mean, I really like Liv. I really like Rhea. The only one I hate in this scenario is Dom. Like, I really like Finn Balor, so I'm kind of conflicted with what I want to happen, but logically thinking, I would say it's a good bet that Dom is going to escape somehow and help Liv retain.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes when it comes to the Judgment Day. Shout out to Santiago 903. Thank you for the follow. So I'm gonna be pulling for Rhea Ripley. So I'm gonna say Rhea Ripley, but the only thing that I can think of is, can you imagine the heat that Liv Morgan would get if she defeats Rhea Ripley? Like,
well, that's the thing, is that I don't think that the way that I think it's going to end, I don't think Liv pulls hardly any heat from this. I think Dominic pulls all the heat. I think maybe she may get some residual, right, for being so close. But I think Dominic's the one that pulls all the heat. And I think that's really cool, to be a third-party player in a storyline and still be the one to pull the heat from the match.
Man, she's getting that Dominic Mysterio rub all over her. Pause. Shout out to Zach Wasson. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, just, don't get it confused. It's a wrestling term, people. Before y'all get all worked up.
Before y'all get all crazy in here.
Before y'all, yeah, exactly. No, anyone that gets involved with Dominic Mysterio automatically gets heat. Like, I remember there was a point in time where Dom was over on SmackDown getting involved with Santos Escobar when he was feuding with Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
And that put Santos Escobar on a whole nother level as a heel. Like, you put him with Dom, and all of a sudden Santos Escobar was a serious threat.
Yeah.
That's the power of Dom Mysterio.
And what's crazy is, like, a year ago, if you would ask me about Dominic Mysterio, I would have told you, yeah, he's about to burn out. He'll be gone in 6 months.
Oh yeah, no. The first year that I saw Dom Mysterio, I was like, this kid is not going to make it in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now look at
Yeah,
him.
I agree.
Holy shit.
And
All
now
right.
he's like the center of, it may not be a men's title, but he's like the centerpiece of a title, a main title. And he has, I mean, arguably the most heat out of anyone in the business right now.
I can't get enough of Dom now. Pause again.
Pause.
All right, let's move on here before because I could talk about Dom all night. Hell in a Cell. CM Punk, our boy, my boy, good old Phil Brooks versus Big D, Drew McIntyre. And they've been feuding pretty much since CM Punk got to the company.
Yeah.
CM Punk and Seth Rollins were like, we don't like this fucking guy here. We don't want him here. He can go back to wherever he came from because they can't say AEW. and it's been an ongoing feud with these two. One of my favorite feuds of all time. They're both 1-1 right now. This is the third match, possibly their final match, the big blow off match for this feud. We started off this prediction episode talking about Finn Balor and Damian Priest as to that match can be one of the matches that brings a lot more in the future, like the outcome of that match. But this match too, I feel like is up there because I think it's going to set the tone for the future of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into all that, I don't know who the fuck is going to win this match, dude. This is one of those feuds.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I was about to say the whole thing. Like I don't, if you're asking me to predict the winner, dude, it's a total crapshoot. Whoever doesn't die, like that's really just what it is. You know, I hope this isn't the blow off match. I hope it isn't. Like we talked about last time. You know, I hope they just keep going. I hope they keep going for no other reason than fuck you. That's and they're doing it, dude. They're doing it. Like, why is this match happening? I want someone to look at me and tell me in depth why these two are fighting, main eventing Bad Blood in a Hell in a Cell. Why?
It's one of the best feuds going on right now.
That's why, though. That's why they're doing it. It's not because of the bracelet anymore. It's not because of the title. It's not because of the blah, blah, blah. It's because fuck you. That's the only reason. And this is what we were talking about last time. This is what they should have done. This is Stone Cold versus The Rock. This is, you know, Mankind versus Undertaker. Like it's got the momentum to be
Shawn versus
insane.
Taker.
It's Shawn versus Taker, right?
At Bad Blood.
And dude, I'm so stoked for it. I think this is gonna be the coolest match on the card. I think it's gonna have the best ending. And I'm looking forward to seeing them beat the hell out of each other.
Absolutely. Their promo last night on Monday Night Raw got me suspended because of all of the shit that they were saying about offing each other and funerals and
oh my gosh.
Yes, that's their promo. I was like, okay, so yeah, TikTok Live was like, hey, we're suspending your gifts. We're suspending your what is it called? Like when they suggest your profile to other profiles, that got suspended. Like as soon as Drew and CM Punk got on the mic, like it was bad for me. It was over because these guys were like talking about all kinds of crazy shit. And it just got really crazy. It got too real.
That's nuts, dude.
And it's going to be crazy, man. Now, the only thing that I can think about as far as who's going to win this match, I think it has to be CM Punk.
Okay, explain that one.
I got you. Frank, shout out to Frank once again. He also believes that it's going to be CM Punk. Like myself, yep, Punk wins it. He says, Jason Williams, thank you for the follow. The reason it has to be Punk, before this match at Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood was announced, CM Punk defeated Drew McIntyre in the strap match. And after that match, CM Punk had an interview where he said, I got my bracelet back. I beat Drew McIntyre. I'm done with Drew McIntyre. I'm coming after gold and I want Gunther. So I was like, okay, CM Punk versus Gunther. I'd be down for that. For the World Heavyweight Champion. Hell yeah, I'd be down for that. Shout out to Account. Thank you for the follow. So I think if CM Punk still plans on going after gold after this, he has to beat Drew McIntyre. It's the only way that I can, not the only way, but to go up against Gunther, you have to be able to beat people like Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell. Thanks, Fred, for the follow. Shout out to Fred.
Okay, so hear me out because it gets a little, right? It gets a little out there for a second. Do you remember the last time we talked? And I was criticizing them putting the title on Gunther.
Oh, yeah.
And
how can I forget? I got a lot of heat because of that. Thanks to you.
And
Thank you
I
for
said,
that.
I said, and I quote, if we're putting the title on Gunther, who cares? Put it on Sammy for 6 months. And then the following week, Sami Zayn comes out and continually challenges Gunther for the title. Now, I would love to see a CM Punk Gunther program. But I want to see a Gunther Sammy program for the title just because I pulled that out of my ass entirely live and it came true.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, dude, I got a lot of feedback about that. They're like, what's up with your boy Super?
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, or what do you want to call it? I mean, people were messaging me like, what's up with your boy Super? He's probably the only wrestling fan that does not like Gunther.
Dude, that is hilarious. That's hilarious. I tell them to come message me. I can explain all day, you know. It may not be with something they agree with, but I can explain.
Yeah.
But I also I think CM Punk and Gunther would be dope. I think it would be a good program, but I want to I want to see Drew and Punk keep up in it. And they're really up. I think this match is going to be, I think they're going to take the words bad blood a little too literally in this match. And I think they're going to up the game. I think this is going to be the most brutal match that they've had so far. But I want to see them continually up it and just keep going until, I mean, I don't care how long they go for. They work so well together. I don't care. But I do think that a Punk Gunther program has to happen at some point. So if this is the blow off match and this is where it ends, then fine, great. But I'd like to see Sammy at least get a shot, and I'd like to see Drew and Punk up the stakes a bit.
It's going to be interesting for sure. The actual match itself, they promise blood. They promise all kinds of things for this match. So they're going to deliver. And I'm kind of worried for both of these guys because they're going to put on one hell of a match, one hell of a show. I'm not a really big fan of Sami Zayn going after Gunther, but the match was officially announced. Gunther finally gave in and he was like, fine, which I thought was total bull crap. But that's a story for another day because I don't think that match is happening at Bad Blood, is it? I don't think.
No.
Okay, good. Let's keep it that way. But let's not.
Super's prediction cannot come true.
I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because, like, I mean, the story that they're telling. Sami Zayn defeated Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, so I can beat him for the World Heavyweight Championship. But that's not how that works, Sammy. It is, but you lost the Intercontinental Championship. You don't get a title shot for the World Heavyweight Championship just like that.
Now, I do 100% agree with that. I do agree wholeheartedly. I'm like, dude, you lost the championship so fast, and now you're just like, oh, going up. It's like not really how that happens, buddy. But whatever.
Frank Johnson 1973 says next Monday Sammy Gunther. So I think that's when that match is taking place. Is
Yeah,
next
buddy.
Monday.
Sorry, main title's not changing hands on a weekly. It's not happening.
Yeah. And speaking of, I think the similar thing might happen with Braun Breaker after losing the Intercontinental Championship versus Jey Uso. He went up to Gunther and he was eyeballing that championship, and I'm like, wait a minute. As much as I love Braun Breaker, you just lost the Intercontinental Championship, bro. You need to slow your roll there.
I would say the difference there, though, is like, yes, I do agree. I would say the difference, though, is that Sammy had probably the weakest title run that I've seen in years, while Braun Breaker looked like an absolute madman the entire time he held that title.
Mm-hmm. And he lost it in like weeks.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I get it. He's coming off of losing his title. Just because you lost one title doesn't mean you get a shot at another. But at the same time, could you imagine a 40-mile-an-hour spear to Gunther? Dude, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that. Elisa Colon, thank you for the follow. Shout out to Alyssa. Let's not forget Seth Rollins came back last night also.
Oh, my God. Dude. Talk about blew my mind. Like, absolutely. I don't think anyone was expecting that. I didn't call it, and Neep didn't call it. If one of us doesn't call it, then it was unexpected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to the Mike Omega. He's been on my show a few times. He's a good friend of the show. He was on my TikTok live last night while we were streaming Monday Night Raw. By the way, everyone that's listening and that's with us right now, I do stream Raw, NXT, and Friday on my TikTok. So follow me if you want to watch the show with us. He was on my live and he called it. He was like, Seth Rollins is going to come out, and 5 minutes later, next thing you know, here comes little old Seth Rollins and his happy self to get his revenge on Bronson Reed. But the reason I bring up Seth Rollins is because we have to see Seth Rollins and CM Punk at some point down the line, which is another feud that I would like to see. As great as this feud with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk has been, I think that could be another reason why this could be the big blow-off match, is because either CM Punk moves on to Gunther or CM Punk moves on to Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Yeah. I think them, so bigger picture, right? Them bringing in Seth when they did was so, I mean, I can't express, it was so perfectly placed, so absolutely calculated that you can tell that this booking that is happening in this current era is on a whole nother level than we've ever seen before, right? Because
yeah, I agree with that. Because
Seth coming back, what that does, the way he came back, that sets up Seth versus Bronson, right? Which in turn can set up Seth versus Punk or Seth versus Gunther. But more importantly, breaking off into my forte of things, it gets Braun away from Bronson Reed, which is important because of the QR code we got last night.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw how everything broke down.
Not the one from last night, but I saw the one from a couple of weeks ago that Irish Neat broke down really well too, by the way. He broke it down so good that I actually played it on my podcast a couple times for people because I was like, this guy's usually right about these things. So I think this is what's happening.
So every time this is the process of things that this is the order of operations. Okay. We get a Twitter post and or a QR code from the Y6. Immediately it hits our group chat.
Yeah. People are like, break this down for us.
And then me, Neep, and then two of our buddies, Prince and Mystic, we all break down the QR code. We have I was saying last night, we're such a well-oiled machine when it comes to the QR codes, because we know that Mystic does the letter puzzles. I'll do the history in the background. Neep will go into the hidden meaning of like the old Wyatt stuff, and then Prince picks up whatever else is there and he puts it together. And so we've kind of learned our roles and all this. And last night we were just like boom, boom, boom,
Well,
boom, boom.
dude, I tried. Shout out to Daft Wrestle TikTok. Thank you for the follow. Also, shout out to Dalton Bender. Check out STBW on YouTube. Send me a link, Dalton. I'd love to check it out. But the QR from the QR code from last night had so many videos, so many links, so many things tied to it that I was just like, I can't. I'm just gonna wait for Irish Sneep to post it, and I'll just watch it then.
Yeah, and that's the tough part is if you think you're done with the QR code, you're probably not. And it's going through and making sure that you have to find everything first, right? You have to make sure you've found everything, and then once you find everything, you figure out how they connect. And finding everything, dude, I can't tell you how many nights I've sat here at 2 a.m. with, no joke, 37 tabs open on my browser and
Looking up shit.
It's just Wyatt stuff in order,
Yeah.
right? And last night was no different. And
So really quick, shout out to Irish Sneep. The last video I saw by him, he broke down the QR code. I think it was last week or the week before. And I'm just gonna make the long story short. It seems like, based on your guys' research, that they're talking about Braun Strowman in these QR codes, right?
yeah, so we were speculating that, and then as of last night, if it's not Braun, then it's a totally different player that we would have never ever suspected.
Okay. All right.
But
Mhm.
yeah, it's Seth coming in pulls Braun away from Bronson, which pulls him into the Wyatt 6 stuff more.
For sure.
So it served a lot of purposes, and they did it very, very well.
Right on. And again, we're talking about all of this because this crazy booking that's going on in the WWE right now, everything somehow is like connected, which is really interesting, right?
Everything's connected right now, and it's so good. There's only one storyline that's not connected, but in my opinion, it's the worst storyline to ever hit TV. So,
and which one is this? What storyline is this?
The Bloodline.
All right. I had a feeling you were going to say that. So that's a really good transition. So let's get into the final match of Bad Blood.
You ready to get some more heat?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Hey, send all your hate mail to Super. All right. From Behind the Pillars. This is not me. Anything Super says on this podcast has nothing to do. That doesn't mean that I agree with it. No, I'm kidding.
But look, I want you to clip this and put it up so everybody knows. Okay. If you have hate mail, please address it to me. I will read it as I fall asleep. I love it. It comforts me.
All right. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, the tag team that we never thought we would ever see. And dare I say, the tag team that I never thought I ever wanted to see, but I do. And I love this. This is like unstoppable. I think this is like the cheat code when it comes to tag teams. And they're going to be facing the Bloodline. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns decided it's best that they are on the same side instead of being against each other. Roman Reigns claimed he did not want Cody's help. This is family business. I don't need no contract. I don't need Cody Rhodes to help me. I can handle my own family business. But Cody Rhodes ended up getting involved anyway. And he was like, I'll help you, Roman. Why not? So we're going to get a tag team match. Oh boy, I don't even know where the fuck to begin here, because let me start off by saying, and if you guys listen to my show, and you guys keep up with the podcast, let's see, Roman and Cody win, says Frank Johnson. Then Roman turns. Interesting. I don't want Cody in War Games, says Daft Wrestle Talk. Shout out to Rokov Asalo. He wants Jimmy to come back. See, there's so many things that can happen here. But here's Here's what I think is going to happen. Lately, I've been noticing a different Cody Rhodes. Um, when Roman Reigns came back on SmackDown, the fans were loving Roman. Cody Rhodes interrupted Roman. Cody Rhodes was the heel when he interrupted Roman, when Roman was getting all the cheers and the fans were going crazy for him. Nobody popped for Roman. That video package at the football arena last week, I was in the arena for that. It was here in Sacramento, California, my hometown. I've been seeing Cody Rhodes healing a little bit more. So people want to talk about Roman Reigns is going to turn. I think it's going to be Cody. Call me crazy, Super.
Dude, I think you're onto something there. I think that's the only thing that could make this semi-interesting. You know? Are Cody and Roman going to win? Yeah, obviously. You're putting two people who are booked to never get pinned on the same team. Yeah, they're going to win. The real question is who turns, if anyone. I think Cody turning would be the more interesting storyline. Now, if you're asking me what I want to happen, Cody Rhodes walks out all cool, gets to the ring. Roman Reigns walks out. He clacks both his ankles, gets sent home, and then we don't have a match. That would be ideal. But, but, yeah, no, I think, now that you say it, I think Cody Rhodes turning, I think that would make more sense.
Plus, a lot of people have been complaining about Cody Rhodes' title reign has been getting stale. It's been getting boring. So I think it's time. I think it's time.
They say that his title reign's getting stale and boring, but like, dude, they put him up against Carmelo Hayes for a title shot. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Not anything against Carmelo Hayes. I love Carmelo.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Everything against Carmelo Hayes, but go on.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, he sucks. Fuck that guy. But no, I like Carmelo Hayes. And so nothing against him, but like, are we really like we're trying to see that guy in a main title match? Or really?
No, we don't.
That really happened?
Brokoff Salo also says, let's see. I think Cody will turn on Roman, which will set up their third match at Crown Jewel. And they also want Jey Uso was on that card. Okay. Thank you for your comments, Brokoff. You bring up a good point there. Sorry, Super. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I think the one downfall about this match, I think performance wise, okay, let's take the names out of it, right? Take out who we like and who we don't like. Performance wise, this match is going to be stellar. It's going to be dope, regardless of how you look at it. I think the one bad thing about this match for me personally, putting names back into it, is that either way it ends, it's going to be renewing the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes feud. That it's just going to be the same garbage we've been watching for the past 2.5 years. That's just what it's going to be. And I think that really sucks, especially because once again, it involves a main title, and that main title is going to be held up, not being actually defended because of Roman. So that sucks, but the match itself, I think, is going to be a banger match.
So I think it's safe to say that we all believe that Roman and Cody are going to have to win somehow. Anyone that disagrees on the chat, let us know. Def Wrestle Talk says KO has to get involved somehow, and Frank agrees. KO has also been teasing that turn on Cody. Can't forget about that. So we got that going. We got that to look forward to. Jimmy Uso still hasn't came back. That could also be a big factor. So a lot of things can happen.
My only problem with KO turning is like, what does that do for KO? Because there's no way this match doesn't end renewing a feud between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. So like, what does that do for KO? It does. Sure, it turns him heel, but like, then what?
Yeah, and he just had a title shot versus Cody not that long ago.
And it's a great match. It's a great match.
Mm-hmm. But are they going to do that again?
Again, it's like we wonder why people think that Cody Rhodes had a stale has had a stale reign. He had a title match against KO, which is a great performer, but I don't think any of us are kidding ourselves in saying that he's main title material at the moment. So I mean, it's just another, I don't know. I think this title's been mishandled for a long time, and it sucks to see.
Interesting. Well, right on, Super. Those are the matches that we have so far for Bad Blood. We have one more SmackDown, like I mentioned before. I don't know if they're going to add any more matches. If they do, we're not going to predict it because we're recording this on Tuesday, the day of NXT, October 1st, the first day of NXT on the CW. So if they add another match on SmackDown, we apologize. But we wanted to get a head jump on this prediction episode for all of you guys. Any closing thoughts, Super, before we get out of here about Bad Blood or anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I will say, continue meddling, continue looking for Wyatt Six clues. Don't expect them at Bad Blood. But things are about to heat up tremendously with that group, so watch out for them. Bad Blood specifically, it's going to be a great show. It's got some very obvious high points. Do not miss the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match for anything in the world. So far, we got 5 matches for this Bad Blood. And who knows, Super, if you're not busy this weekend after Bad Blood, maybe I can catch you and we can see how many of these matches we got correct. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I'll be down. I'll be around. I think I don't have anything going on Saturday night. So, yeah, if you want to get together, let's do it, man. All right. Sounds good. Well, until then, thank you guys, everyone that was on the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. My name is Edgar. I'm the host of Snug Wrestling. We will talk soon. Super. Tell the people one last time where they can find you. Behind the Pillars on TikTok. Check out Irish Neep on YouTube and not really Twitch anymore. Hashtag RIP. But yeah, Irish Neep on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Check out Behind the Pillars on TikTok. And that's where we be. All right. Later, guys. Thank you. Later.